on-chain. Hey, on-chain revolution, Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recaps and I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, trend. Yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the stack. Ordinals the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to On-Chain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire crypto ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing tutorial video for you guys today. Today, we're going to be going over Agent Hustle. Agent Hustle is your AI companion that can actually help you trade. Not only can he help you trade, but he can actually manage your emotions for you. What do I mean? Well, let's just say you say, hey, I want to get out with a 50% gain. You tell Hustle, hey, when this gets to 50% gain, you sell. You walk away, you go to the gym, you go out, do whatever you need to do. Hustle takes care of the conditional trading for you. This is absolutely amazing and a must-have for traders, especially in a volatile area of launch pads, right? We have Pump Fund, we have Bonk Fund, we have all the other launch pads that are hopping up in the Solana ecosystem, and now you have a tool that can actually help you and really kind of teach you too. I mean, Hustle's really been teaching me a lot about what's going on in the launchpad ecosystem, and he can break down, everything for you, from bundles to all type of stuff, to give you that aid, so that that the help you need to compete with people like Cupsy and stuff like that. So it's a must-have tool, and we're going to teach you guys exactly how to use them today. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, man? So today we're going to be lucky enough to have the great Maverick join us today, and he's going to be helping us learn a lot about Hustle. But what do you know about Hustle so far?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've done some tutorials on Hustle in the earlier versions, right? Because we've known Jake and Emblem and Adam for a long time, right? And so I've used Hustle. I've used Hustle to kind of give. I remember in the earlier versions, I found a couple gems. I 5x'd on a couple. You remember those days? I was like, yo, I actually found a 5x, and this was the early days, and it was awesome, and I felt like it was like in the early days, and it would get better, right? And so recently I haven't been interacting as much, and I've been doing a lot of manual trenching myself, kind of using my GMGN, using Axiom and all these things, but I feel like I need to get caught up. And I think that this is going to be a great episode because, like Soul Maverick is known in the Hustle community, probably the most known leader in that community to be able to use Hustle as a tool to find those gems. And so I'm excited because I want to add another tool to my tool set, and maybe Hustle will be a big part of that.
Yeah, 100%. So without further ado, let's bring up Soul Maverick. Maverick, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey guys, happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us,
man. Tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of get into your experience with Agent Hustle.
Yeah, I've been in the space since 2017, 2018. Love the altcoins more than the regular, major place. So I've always been looking for crypto gems and had good success with that in the past bull runs. But this new bull run has been crazy. I would say difficult from a perspective of altcoins. And the trenches, if you're playing in them with the cabals and with people that are actually known insider networks, if you're not part of that, it's really difficult. And so it's really, really hard to find some of these key runners. And Hustle's really changed the game. So it's an AI agent. It's phenomenal at finding kind of strong volume, good plays that you can still play in the ecosystem that are kind of natural, organic, that other people are kind of grabbing. And I think I was kind of getting tired of I would say losing in the trenches. But once I started using this tool, it's kind of added just almost like a quant, that's just able to find things. And then it matches up to my past experience that I have just with kind of finding stuff that I think that majority of people are going to buy, or if there's a meta play or something. So there's some experience level that I have that helps kind of match it. But yeah, I've become, I guess probably just well known just because I post a lot of like, here's what, it found and here's what outcome it was, which is, for me, I've never had like 100x plays, and he's like pumped out like consistently like a handful of those for me. So it's been like kind of like putting me on the map just because I've been able to do that, but it's largely this AI agent that's actually like killing it.
Yeah. You mentioned that you've been in the space since 2017, and so you're definitely a veteran and OG. So you remember all the was it the ICO days and all those things, and then you go to 2020 and 2021, where I feel like trenching kind of began in those degen days with Ethereum. But now you look back at it, do you ever say, man, I wish we had those days again? It was so much easier then.
It definitely was easy. Like if you go back to like 2021, that was like DeFi summer. That was probably one of the funnest times I had. It was like, I don't know if you guys were like in the Telegram chats, but it was, it was something would launch on Uniswap, and then you'd go run over to see like, okay, it's in Telegram. Here's the community. Those were like really fun times, but there was a small amount of crypto coins at the time. So, it was whatever different version of synthetics or Uniswap and Sushi, like any type of farming protocol, they all did well. And they would rug at some point, some of these plays, but you had enough time to like farm. Like it was like they weren't trying to rug in the first like hour. So like I think like I don't know if you guys remember like playing in the space, but like X take maybe was like one of them. It went on for days. Like people milk that. And you could like, you made a fair amount of money that even if you got rugged, if you pulled some out of the protocol, you still made like significant. Those were different times. And it was to play in those ecosystems, you understand kind of the nature of the game. I'd say that now everything's condensed on like a very small scale. So what was months of milking something has turned into days. And you have to be really, I would say, like quick in terms of taking profits aggressively and using stop losses, because like there's so many more coins that are coming out. There's just a lot more rugs. So it's that's why I'm like, I don't know how people are playing in them without an agent. And I kind of always consider this like you're playing chess against some of the best, smartest people out there. Like, why don't you have an agent on your team to like help you?
Yeah, 100%. And with 100,000 coins coming out a day and 99,000 of those being complete rugs, Hustle's here to kind of help you find the ones that are actually maybe even go to, I don't know, $16,000 market cap, right? I feel like that's crazy to say, but honestly, you can catch something at 15K and ride it to 60. That's a win.
Yeah, and so it's like different. I mean, I feel like the ecosystem's changed a little bit. Like where if you guys were back in years ago, right, you could just buy an altcoin and hold it for like 2 years and you'd come out on top. You just had to be patient. Here, I think anyone who bought a coin a year ago is down completely. Like if you're trying to hold any of these things, and like I think I was joking with someone, I think it was like, I think it was Dave I was talking to. It was like, yeah, he's like, I'm afraid to even just like sleep on these things at night, because you're up like 10x, and then the next day you wake up and it's like it's just done. Like everyone is like sold out. People are using like different technology now, so they buy with like multiple wallets, and when they're ready to sell, they're selling like just huge sell pressure. And things sometimes just like once they get past like under a certain line in the trenches, they just don't come back. Like it's really hard. And I don't know if you guys follow my account. Like I was looking at like when Sora came out, like hawking, like hilarious.
Oh yeah, that was so funny.
Oh my god! Like, and so that coin, I think it went up to like 800K and then just died. And so the trenches now are much more difficult, where everyone was laughing. Like retail normies were sending videos like, how did this thing not even get above 1 million market cap is beyond me. And so I think the agent is helpful in that, where I think sometimes you as a person want these coins to run more than the market does. And you might be looking at 10 other people that feel the same way, and you're putting a lot more money into this, and it's just dying. It just keeps going lower and lower, and you keep thinking, this thing's got to run. It's hilarious. Like, how is this not going to end? So you put more in, and pretty much you've exhausted some of your stack to where now you're just down. And so I think Hustle comes in great because he's just sort of like, there's dead volume, there's distribution, people are selling. Why are you trying to hold this? Like, he'll be honest with you. I think you mentioned it, Shizzy, at the beginning, like emotions and like managing emotions. Like, the agent will like tell you, like, you're being an idiot for buying this. Like, stop. Like, and that's the thing about the trenches. Its beauty is that like stuff comes out every second. So it's like there's going to be something else tomorrow that everyone's going to go bid up. So like, sometimes you're holding stuff longer than you need to. And I think the hard thing is that like it's a mix of like a lot of people have come from years of crypto.
There you go. That's the thing right there. I was going to say that, but go ahead, finish. I'll comment on.
You're the hard thing is that like you've had experience, so you see something and you're like, this should be going in a certain direction, or I'm going to hold these coins because this will become a meta. I'm trying to front run something, and when it doesn't play out, you just lose like big on it. And I think that's the hardest thing is like, Hustle's been great because he'll help keep you like up to date on new things that keep happening and pushing new coins your way. And just that feel lets you know that like you can make wins, but if you're still trying to trade how you traded 3 years ago, you're going to get killed. I've had to adapt, but I think adapting with Hustle has been like what's helped me a lot.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, so Shizzy and I both were in the last cycle, and we were in the trenches, if you will. And you're absolutely right. I mean, that's why I think a lot of these Gen Zers are good at this new game, is because they didn't experience what we did. And that was, look, if there's a solid meme, that meme will run for a good amount of time, and you'll be fine. But just in today's game, these Gen Zers didn't experience that, but they just come into this knowing that this is the skill set I need. And that is, there's going to be a next opportunity really quick. So I got to get my money here and then go into the next one. So yeah, look, I'm sure that what you said is going to hit a lot of audience members or audience viewers and listeners heart, because they're just like, gosh, man, it really has changed a lot, especially the people that experienced last cycle. So I appreciate you breaking that down.
Yeah, I think it's the way. I think if I still try to trade the same way I used to, you're just going to bleed your account because you're going to hold stuff longer than you need to. Your conviction on certain plays that don't pan out, you're going to bleed on. And the reality is that most people are jumping in and selling completely on stuff. And I think there's a time, like there'll become a time when there is some type of meta or something that forms. Like when we had AI in October, you could buy almost anything AI and it would go up. But like, to your benefit, anyone who held those over the period of 4 weeks did very well. So right now, since there's nothing that exists as like a common, everyone's behind, you're in like literal like hot potato trenches, where it's just like, this sounds good this week, next week it's something different. And you get these like 2 or 3 days of like these run-ups on these types of coordinated coins that all kind of go together, and then it's on to something else. And so it's all, I think we'll see it when it happens, when there's actually like some type of meta forms, then it'll be easier. But we're kind of in the hard part of the trenches, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. But when you are in the hard part of the trenches, you can ask for help, right? So we're gonna teach you guys exactly how to ask for help with the Agent Hustle. So all you have to do is go to agenthustle.ai. So you can log in a bunch of different ways. You can log in through your Twitter, your Google, your Phantom, your Wallet Connect, your MetaMask, your backpack. And today I'm going to show you guys how to do it with Phantom. But feel free to do it your way through X or a Google. So I'm going to get my Phantom wallet ready. I'm going to pop in my password here. Password in. I'm going to hit unlock. My wallet's going to open. I'm going to connect it to Hustle. I'm going to confirm it. And he's going to be creating me a vault.
Yeah, I remember this part whenever I signed up for an account before. So that's still the same. Where as soon as you sign up for the first time, you get that vault created for you. And that's where Hustle works out of. So That's awesome. Maverick, I'm curious. Is Solana your only trenching grounds? I guess you could say.
So I've done them all. Like, back a couple years ago, like I've BSC Chain,
Yeah.
Phantom, Avalanche, a lot of LTUs on ETH. So, I think I kind of go where like the liquidity is. But lately I've tried to stay mostly on Solana because I've been just staying with Hustle. I know Hustle's going to expand to different ecos, but because it's become such a part of my process, I felt like if I were to go jump into BNB with everyone else that was doing really well, and I had a lot of people that like before you really saw the liquidity on Sol dry up because everyone was on BNB before that week. I had some smart people that were there the week before that were like, you got to get in this, you got to get in that. And I was like, to me, I've become so accustomed to using Hustle to like look for insider trading, wash volume, like all this kind of stuff. Then I'm like, oh, if I don't have it, then I'm kind of just old school,
Behind.
like throwing darts. And I'm like, I don't know if I would be successful. Now, granted, everyone who bought in early was super successful because it just everything ran really hard. But I didn't do it because I was like, I'd rather wait for my current process. And I felt like I was a little bit kind of going into those trenches without armor, and I had no idea what I would expect. But I'm familiar with like different environments.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. All right, so I'm all loaded up here. I got my vault ready. I'm going to come up here, and the first thing I'm going to do is go to balances, right? So it's going to kind of show me what I have in here. Obviously, I have nothing, but up top here is going to say my vault ID, and I'm going to have a little address here so I can add some Solana. So I'm going to do here, I'm just going to click the little copy here, and my address has come and copied. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to go to my Phantom wallet. My wallet's going to pop up. I'm going to have my Solana here, and I'm going to hit send. I'm going to put the address that I just copied in there. I'm going to hit max, but then I'm going to make sure I have enough gas here to make sure this transaction goes through. I'm going to hit the next button, going to send it in. And once this sends up, we'll have to hit the refresh button. So let me just wait a minute or two here, and then I'll hit the refresh. And it will say how much SOL I have and the value of that SOL. And then once we buy some coins as well, and it's gonna show all my coins right here in balances. Looks phenomenal. Mav, what's your opinion on the layout and everything that Emma Vault has created with this?
Oh, it's so clean, and I'd say it's just like I think it's very intuitive. If you want to ask your agent something, it's to the right. They have like conditional trading, which I think is nice to be able to set stop losses and things, limit orders, and then they have what they added with like version I think 3 was the trench section, which I feel is something that I didn't expect. Like, I mean, they could have just left it this way where it's like, you got to figure out how to prompt. But the trench is actually, their filter and everything is actually really good. Like, I think I saw like you guys looking at like the like Axiom, or if you go to Pump and you're trying to see like what's trending, and they look like it's like schizo, right? There's like stuff like keep flying all over your screen, and you're trying to figure out like which dev supply holds what, and like theirs is just like super clean. If you go to trenches and you just like click through, like my favorite starting point when I'm coming here is just to go to organic at the top, and then filter market cap, low to high, and then this is like here I can see like if I want to go really degen, some of the new stuff that's coming out. And like the difference between this and like what you would find on the other filters, like if you're using like Axiom or Pump, this gives me like nice organic volume here. So I'm not jumping into something that's like basically like, to me like fake volume or something. Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of this has bundled stuff still. You'd have to I would say a lot of these probably still have it, but they're pretty much showing kind of like your steady growth on them. And I would say this alone, if I don't know anything about prompting, I just come in here and I look at this, like I'm already in a better like situation to grab one of these that would probably do well versus grabbing something else that's like a rug. So I'm not saying come in and buy like all 10 of these, but like I will go through these and look at these right out of the gate. and kind of see like how they're going, what the chart looks like, and all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. So let me ask you real quick. So why, I guess, what separates these in the organic section from the others, right? You said that these will have some bundles as well. From someone that is in the trenches, I know that like bundles is something I'm looking for first. So if the percentage is really high, then I know that this is most likely going to be farmed and eventually like really, destroyed. So what separates the organic section in terms of the growth? How is that quality?
That was maybe a question for like the hustle team and what they did here. But if you go to like the top traded and you go to these other sections, like what's trending, you'll find stuff that's very similar to like Axiom. Like if I'm going trending,
Gotcha.
And to me, some of these things might not be a quick 2 or 4x or 5x play. I've had more success finding those in the organic section. Now,
Gotcha.
a lot of times too, my prompts that I've built, because I've been using the tool since April, a lot of the stuff that is coming out from my prompts, like as recommendations, a lot of it's found in the organic tab. So I don't know what they did there, but I always recommend it to people that like, if you want to start, go through this, you'll probably find some solid plays out of the gate without even knowing how to ask the agent any questions.
Okay, so you feel safer there.
I do, yeah. Like a lot of the stuff that it's recommended through my prompts is like in this section. And what I always recommend is like you can copy and paste these contract addresses and then just go over to the right and ask the agent, what do you think of this thing? And he'll like do deeper layer analytics on it. Look for, you can ask things like, this is the stuff that you need to do really fast, because you see these coins, they're all like, a lot of them are sub 20K right now. So you're like, okay, if I want to find like a quick 10x before it gets to 200K, how do I go through each of these and pretty much determine they're not like insiders, fake volume, things that are going to rug when it gets to like, 80K, So like, how do you weed those out? And a lot of times it's like basically like taking those, having questions with the agent, filter it out, and then you can find something that actually might trend well.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, like I just did, I just grabbed the ticker here, hit the 2 squares, it copied the address for me. I popped the address in here, and it kind of gives me the information that you kind of said. It said, I'll analyze this token for you. And, I didn't have to prompt it. I just put the address in, boom, good to go. And then, it does give me a score. This is really cool. I don't remember this from last time, but it gave me a risk score of 29 to 100, relatively safe, not rugged. Key risk, a single holder owns 20%, so that's not good.
That's a lot.
No mint authority, no freeze, obviously, because it's a pump token. The concept appears to be positioned as a fully autonomous Claude AI agent. So this kind of has like is almost like a utility play. But like, is there anything that stands out to you that you'd want Hustle to look at off the bat?
So out of the gate, some things, and this is what you have to kind of configure your Hustle a little bit. That single holder is a liquidity pool. So a lot of times you go look at it and you see that like, oh, he's picking up that it's a liquidity pool that's really the 20%. So you can send that to them and he'll reanalyze and be like, oh, it's a little bit safer. He'll look at like how many times the dev has created tokens, if they created this token in the past and using a different form or version of it. He does a lot of that like digging for you. So like out of the gate, you can figure like, is this something you want to touch? So I actually was looking at this one before the stream today. And I can't tell if it's like some live person on Pump doing the stuff or an actual agent. It looks like someone else is just doing it, pretending to be an agent, which is why it's like still under 20K. But, a lot of times the fact that like why this is here is that like the volume's pretty decent for like it's still small. And you could find something that like might be like a big trender if the volume starts to pick up. So it's a good, nice place to start. But like this is also where I would recommend you asking the question to Hustle to kind of like filter out that like, this isn't like, probably like the best place to put some Solana. Maybe find something else, right? And if you scroll down a little bit, the ones that I feel like if you don't go like too degen, like if you don't want to find something under 100K, you can find things that are consolidating pretty well within the, 200 to 400K market cap area, which is actually, I feel like if you're trying to find something a little bit more lasting, a little bit more safer, I've had a lot of success in like one of my favorite prompts, the Maverick prompt, essentially looks for things that trend around 2 to 400K, and before they have a big breakout that goes 1 to 5 million market cap or something. So the ones that I've actually been looking at today, Zcoin, he actually gave it to me yesterday at 80K. And then the national betting, the NBA thing, there's like some scandal. And he, Hustle, when I was using him earlier today, found that one at like maybe under around 200K or something. So those ones I can see like they're daily, like they're trending from yesterday. At least the Zcoin is, and the NBA is new, but you can see the volume on these things picking up, and you can see kind of how the charts play out, and you can kind of ask Hustle, like, which is like really good, because if people aren't traders, you could take one of these ones that's a little bit more established, and you can kind of say, look, for Zcoin or NBA, where should I get in as an entry? Where should I take my profits? What targets do you think? What's the stop loss? And he'll come up with all that stuff for you. And then you can either have him automate it for you, so you don't have to worry about it, or you could manage it yourself. But at least we were just talking about how these trenches are a little bit different. Like, if you don't plan on taking profits and you're just like, I'm going to just hold this coin, like, don't be surprised to see this thing dead in like 2 or 3 days. So you're going to be like, I was up 10x and I completely retraced it. So his intuition in terms of profit taking in the trenches is great. And I would definitely like ask him and let him put something together for you. I think that's one of the biggest benefits of this thing. It's like, not only does he find stuff for you, but he's going to help your execution on it.
Yeah, 100%. I just kind of did exactly what you just said. I said, where should I get in? And I gave him the contract address of the stuff when I was looking at National Betting Association, the current status. He gave me the market cap, everything that I already knew, and then he said the explosive move. It basically tells me what happened yesterday. It went from where it started, where it's currently, that was a 43x, so that was pretty big. He's telling me option one, dip buy strategy. He's telling me to entry around 0.003. Right now it is what did he say it was? Okay, so if it drops like what's this, about 10% from here. He said the risk is 29 out of 100. The volume is 1.4 million in 24 hours. So it gives you everything. The holder count. There's a red flag. Insider network detected 430 wallets connected. What does that mean?
Insider network.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to like kind of like it's like a red flag, but sometimes you have to like kind of push him on that. So he might be like more cautious than that.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the red flag insider network detected 430 wallets. Could you kind of walk us through what kind of message he's trying to give us here?
Yeah. So like at the end of the day, sometimes it's like it's not as bad as he sounds, right? So it's like, oh, there's so many insider networks. It could just be like 1 or 2 people with like a couple bundles, like they have a couple wallets and stuff. And these are small coins still, so it's not anything that is of concern, because like almost everything's kind of got some of this like bundle aspect going on. But I think what you want to rule out is, are these like legit traders, or are they like literally like scammers that like have a network that's like all fake? So the only way to do it is like from here, you can ask him, look at like the top holder wallets, and he'll do that. And like, what is like their track record? Like, what are they holding? Or you go do it yourself. And if you use like Axiom or anything, then you can actually go look at some of those wallets. And that's like the easiest way, is just to double check when you see some of these holders. I always joke that I'm like, if they're in the red, like if you see they've lost like thousands of dollars, I'm like, they're probably legit, because like almost everyone's losing money in the trenches. you know, if you see these wallets, they have like one coin in it and it's like the only coin, and they hold like huge amounts of supply, and there's like nothing else in their wallet other than like some like small dusting of some random coins, then I'm kind of concerned. Because then what they're probably doing is like slowly selling their stuff while people are bidding, and doing wash trading and all that kind of stuff. So if he's kind of saying like there's some concern, I usually just go check it out.
Gotcha.
And you know, it's part of the benefit of him, because I might not, you know, if there's a green candle and a green candle, you get caught up in the emotions and you're like, dude, I just got to get in this thing, right? But they're really good about pumping things and getting you trapped in a range and making you add more at the tops before they rug it. So, you know, like it's always good to just take a second, see what he's saying, go check it out yourself, and you might just avoid it entirely.
Gotcha. And when you said, you know, okay, so just for the audience, so they can kind of use it maybe in the same way if they would like, whenever you say, you know, you check kind of those top wallets and see if there's only one coin in there, is that what people mean whenever they say like, oh, this coin has a bunch of fresh wallets? Is that what they mean by that?
Yeah, so a fresh wallet, and I don't really call it that, but like my guess is that they're like
created it for just this coin to be able to not be tracked. Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, you guys have like Discord, like, you know how people are always like, hey, I'm here to buy wallets. I'll buy your unused wallet. You know, have you guys ever seen people like come in and kind of say like, I'm trying to buy wallets, and they want like your old wallets you don't use anymore, and they'll pay money for it? Have you seen those? Essentially, they're buying these wallets that they can use. So when they look legit, you know, it looks like someone who's lost a lot of money, and then you get confused because you're sort of like, well, this actually looks like a normal person, and they're a big holder. So okay, or if they have a track record, they got a couple wins, then I'm going to stay in it longer, and it could be totally scammed. So like once I started seeing scammers do that, I'm like, oh shit, they're actually buying old traders' wallets, which is really smart. So they're not like fresh, but they're like reused wallets, but you would never know because it like looks legit to some degree. So they're getting a little bit smarter.
That's actually genius. I never even thought about that, because like it's not like you're gonna, you know, you're not worried about the other person still having the keys, right? Because like you're just gonna use them, and then, you know, not probably
it's
never
for
use
show.
it again, right? Just for show. Yeah. That's 100%. I do like what he said here. He says, "Final verdict: do not touch the token."
Yeah, and
it's pretty straightforward.
Like I think for this is that if you go back to that little trend section, there's like tons of new stuff that's come up. So for me, like trying to force something here where I'm like, you know, like I really like this one, but like he keeps saying like there's just some concerns on it. Like you want to find something that doesn't have anything. Like, and there you'll find something that you'll just probably be able to have more luck in. So like if I kind of pass all his smell tests and I still get rugged, then I'm like, you know, it happens. But like if I'm getting rugged on something where he said there was concerns, then I'm kind of asking for it. So it's like, know your risk, right? And know too, like when you're grabbing something here that like everything has the potential to like just go to zero. So you know, I guess two things I wanted to mention. When you first get started with the hustle and you're like learning the use, I always recommend like using small size. Until you kind of get the confidence built that like things are legit, you're getting runners, then you can like, you know, change your size. But like to start, it's good to go small size. And the other thing is just like be patient. So, you know, like if you can't find anything, like if nothing looks good here, don't force it. Like don't like, I'm just going to grab this and this. Like some days in the trenches are just terrible and they don't have anything good. And you're like, you're just going to get chopped or you're just going to bleed your money. So I think the beauty and like how Agent Hustle's like changed the way I do stuff. He's made me really calm in like the trenches to where some days I look at it and I don't see anything and like everything's kind of not great. I'm like, okay. Because I know on another day he'll probably find me some good runners, and I'd rather just have the good days and try to avoid like the days where I would probably lose money.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that strategy too, because it's like you're just you're just, if you're not sold on something, you're just like, all right, I just won't buy that day. I think that's, especially having the tool like Hustle to kind of show you and kind of basically says straight up like, no, don't do it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I actually like your strategy too. The fact that like you use Hustle as a tool and like you said, kind of a quant, but then you also have stuff that you do on your side. Like you have your job as well to kind of match up. For example, red flags, insider information. Then you kind of do your own thing. Did you from the jump kind of feel like, okay, Hustle's going to be a tool that I use in my toolbox like this, or did it take you some time to say, okay, Hustle's good for this, that, and the other, but I still need to do this?
Yeah, I think I've always said this, like the part where I fail is the execution mostly. So he's really good with like the prompts to find the runners before they run. Like I never had issues with him finding something that would do very well. My personal issue is, I didn't trade it properly. So I either exited most of my position before the 2030x hit, um, or I'm jumping back in higher up because I'm like, I should have stayed in this. And, now I'm getting chopped in an area where people are selling and I'm trying to add to it, So I think the more I listen to him and he's sort of like, here's your targets, here's where you need to get out. If I stick to the plan, I do very well. When I veer from it out of emotion or my personal thought, like a good example, we were talking about hawking, right? He's like, cut it, it's bad. Well, I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of people on X that like this. This stuff keeps coming. I think Hustle's wrong. So I'm going to hold it. I'm going to add to it now. And then it just goes down another 2-3x. Like that's where I think my execution is poor, is when you're trying to trust an AI who's like emotionless and just telling you how it is. But the human side of you is just like, I don't believe you. But I trust you in like finding solid stuff and it works every single time. But I don't trust you as much in where you think I should take profits and exit. And instead of trusting it completely because it's better in all aspects. So like that's where I feel like I fail a little bit, because like everyone's like, oh man, like you got a 50x play. And I'm like, yeah, but I sold most of it by like 30x because I was thinking there's no way this is going to keep going. And he's like, yeah, it's still got juice in it. Like just stay, hold, keep more. And I've like cut out early on some of these things. So that it's just, my own thoughts are like, if you look at today's market, there's no way we're going to 10x today. Market looks like, Bitcoin's just doing something, it's chopping, alt's bleeding. Why would I want to hold something and expect a 10x play? Like my confidence level, and I kind of put restrictions around the stuff. The trenches can't be that good. But I wouldn't be surprised that like a 20 or X play comes out today that I just never expected. So that's kind of stuff where I feel like, as a human, you kind of put these like emotion restrictions on stuff, and you perform worse by kind of sticking to that kind of stuff that you've done in the past and having it bleed over into rather accepting, here's all the stuff he's providing in terms of the plays to get in and how long to hold them and when to get out. And, listening to him a little bit more on that, I think is really hard for a lot of people to fully trust, this agent. So personally, I've failed when I don't trust it completely. So.
Yeah, man, 100%. I think that's a little everyone, right? We all just kind of make the same mistakes. But can you talk to us a little about the conditional engine and maybe some maybe is there anything in the past that you used it and it worked out well for you?
Yeah, so they've done a lot of stuff to like update their conditional engine here, and um, the best part is like most people that are getting in, I think of a lot of new retail people, like I don't know how to set like a limit order, and I don't know how to take profit, like on a stop loss, or I don't know any of that stuff. They're not traders. They never learned it. So talking to Hustle to develop that stuff for you is really nice. And I know a lot of people, that's what they do. Like they don't want to monitor something. I think we were talking about like Zcoin, which is like now at 500K right now. I don't want to sit here and like babysit it and see like, is it going to get to 1 million market cap? But I can come in here and say, Hustle, if I bought this coin in this portfolio with Hustle, I would just be like, hey, like when it gets to 1 million market cap, can you sell half of my position? And he'll set up that order for you just by asking him. And you can go into the conditional orders and see it listed there. You can set up like an order with a stop loss. So like sell it at 1 million, but if it drops to like 300K from here, like just sell the rest of my position. Which is good in the sense that like if things start selling off and you're sleeping, well, you don't wake up to like something that's at 0. It would have sold off by that time.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, and it's actually a great thing to do, especially at night. So like, one thing I always wake up and I'll accidentally I wake up for 3 seconds. I'm like, just check the price. But this, you don't even have to. You can just kind of get back when you get back to your desk. If it went through, it went through. If it didn't, it didn't. Right. So it's one of those things where you set your stop, you set your take profit, and you let Hustle kind of basically do what you wanted him to do.
Yeah, I think the conditional is like the best way to trust the agent, because you can ask him, tell me where you would take profit on this coin. And I don't know if we bought a coin or anything, but like you just say like, tell me your targets, tell me your stop loss. And then after he does that, then you say, okay, we'll set up an order with the stop loss that you recommended to sell half my position at this, whatever recommendation he gave, and the rest of it at this recommendation, right? And he'll set it up for you. And I think it's just like easy. It takes it away from you having to manage it and get your emotions involved. And you're on hunting for the next one, right? So let's go look at another coin. That thing's set up. If it hits, great, I've made money on it. If I get stopped out, then that happens too. But at least I'm not trying to manage multiple positions, right?
Yeah, 100%. And what happened to me right now is my subscription. So if you get basically a free 10 daily a day, but if you sign up for the Pro Hustler and you pay in Hustle token, it's $40. And if you pay in, if you want to get the Elite Hustler and get 150 prompts, you can pay for this right here. It's $150 a month. So which one do you prefer? I guess you're an Elite Hustler.
It's funny. So like I use Pro, but that's because I've developed my Hustle to where I don't need as many prompts. So when I first started, I probably would have been on the Elite side. I would have been doing tons of prompts because like I'm asking it to refine something, or I don't like this coin, or you gave me the wrong coin, give me another one. And so it's like the constant stuff. I would do multiple prompts. But now I have my stuff built, so I just kind of come in and say like, oh, give me this play, and then I kind of ask a couple of things, and Pro is perfect for me right now.
Yeah, and 50 prompts a day, now that I'm thinking about it, that's a lot. I think
it is a lot.
100%.
I'm curious, Maverick, if you had to pick one of your biggest wins that you and Hustle teamed up on, which one would you say that was?
God, so I hate saying it, but like it gave me Irina at like 40 or 60K or something, and it was like a 500x play.
Woo!
And everyone's like, it was such a controversial one because I was like, people are like, you're making money off of like the girl that got like stabbed, but there was like, it was one of those things where I think it only ran once the dev was like, oh no, I'm going to send the money to the GoFundMe, whatever.
Gotcha.
But it was such a controversial one that like hit the trenches where people are like, should we play this? Because we've played like these justice for things all the time, like the justice for peanut, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was just different. So it was a very big, like, people are like, you're sick for like even recommending this thing,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I was like, well, like the trenches, like the people like that are doing this, they don't really care. Like they're gonna you know, and if you look at Hustle, he's just saying it kept coming up. Like, this one's good, this is good volume, like, because he doesn't know what those things are. So he kept, like, it was top of my list every single time. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this thing's just going to keep going. And it did. And I think that was like, it's like one of the best ones that like was played. It just sucks that it's like such like around like a terrible accident. So
Yeah, 100%. And like to your point, Hustle, you know, he's not looking at anything but, you know, his stuff, right? So he's not out there being that. So I mean, I don't think it's honestly, dude. Like, I think if something's running like that and it has all the good metrics, I mean, why not? Honestly, so. But you know, I'm not I'm not the greatest person in the world either. I mean,
well,
you know,
yeah.
especially well, you know what I mean. It's kind of like one of those things where it's the trenches. I mean, anything goes in the
Yeah.
trenches.
And you choose to play what you want. Like, I know there's always like racist stuff coming in, and like
Yeah.
I just stay away from those. But like sometimes those things I look at them, I'm like, oh my god, like those things went like a 40x play, and I'm like, I can't believe people are buying that. But like, it's people out there that are just trying to make money, and they don't really care. They're not going to hold this stuff long term, but they're squeezing every like, you know, ounce of soul out of these things. So like, I think that's one of those things is like people always like, I feel like the agent helps because he'll find something that you probably wouldn't search for yourself, you know, and he'll recommend something that you're like, I don't know, I wouldn't buy that. And he kind of thinks of everything as a trade. So like, just get in here, exit here, and move on. It helps with some of the stuff that comes out, and you as a person can choose not to play it. So you can be like, yeah, let's, like I said, if I don't want to play that, then like something's going to come by in the next day or two that'll be just as good.
Yeah, 100%. I guess the last thing I want to talk to you about is the toolbox. Is there anything in here that you would, because I have everything how it comes, right? I didn't mess with anything. Is there anything in here that you would turn off, turn on, or is this something that you don't really mess with?
I do mess with it. The Hustle team's probably going to hate me for this one. So I go to analyst.
Okay.
And I've like turned them all on except for I think user. Where is it? Yeah, users. I think I kept that one off. Don't turn on users. It like slows it down and confuses him. So I just have all my stuff on. And I, you know, I was at the time when they were doing the upgrade to like version 3, the prompts that I had built weren't working. So like talking with the dev, they were like, well, if you turn this stuff on, like it should help with my search and like everything. Cause it was like, it kept coming back to say like, I just can't find anything with your prompts are too restrictive. I can't find anything. And I'm like, no, this is like something's going on. So now that I have everything on, my prompts work and I haven't had any issues, but I can't tell you exactly like what each one does. All I know, at least for like how I set up stuff, it works. And that's why I said the Hustle team might be like, you don't need to turn them all on. Like, I don't know. That's just like my stuff works in that environment. So yeah.
Absolutely amazing, man. Well, I really appreciate your time, dude. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. And I would love to give you the stage one last time. Where can people come find you? Where's your Discord? Let us all know.
Yeah. So academy.fun is kind of like our main like name and everything out there if you're searching for us on X, and it has like the Discord link, and our Discord's pretty unique because it's like basically a bunch of Hustle users, and we all build prompts together, we trench together, and we use it for trading too. So we have like a trench part of the Discord and then a trading part. So if you guys are actually looking to use this to trade, we have a lot of expert traders that don't use it that are great within the community, and we have some people that do use Hustle to trade. So it's a really good community to get involved in. We also honestly have our AI quant, which is powered by Hustle. It's pretty legit. It has like an 80 to 90% like accuracy rating on like where it expects Bitcoin to go, using like multiple factors. But like a lot of it's just like the current charts, like different things that we feed it with liquidity levels, and also some Astro, which we do feed it, which is, you laugh, but like the thing's actually pretty legit. So like we use a lot of stuff with like Hustle powering our Discord, which it makes it a little bit unique. But yeah, you know, it's also links in my bio too if you guys have any questions. But yeah.
Yeah, sounds great, dude. I'll put everything in the show notes for you guys as well. Go follow them. Go join the academy. And again, man, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep, appreciate it, Maverick. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
See you, man.
Bye.
Absolutely amazing, man. Maverick seems to be somebody who's he's going to win when the trenches get back and they get hot again, because he has the tools to do so. He has the tools like Hustle, and he's not only, you know, using Hustle, he mastered the way he uses Hustle. He has his prompts, he has everything he needs for when things do get hot again. We need to be in that Discord, because just in case we miss something, I think Mav's going to find it.
Absolutely. And he's just getting started, right? I mean, he has his academy fund that him and his crew have put together, and that's to educate people too, right? And help everybody. So we hope that you guys learned something from this tutorial and introduction to Maverick as well. And it was a good one, that's for sure.
100%, man. And so until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain revolution, roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go, Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed, gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain revolution.